I choose Aisha. She's the only one who feels like a real mom. Emily's voice sliced through the room, her small finger jabbing straight at Aisha Thompson, the black maid frozen in the doorway with a silver tray clutched in her hands. Richard Blackwell's face twisted in fury, his knuckles whitening around his champagne flute. No, Emily. That low-class black servant from the slums? She's beneath us. She scrubs our floors, not raises my daughter. Aisha's jaw clenched, her dark eyes locking on Richard's without flinching. She set the tray down with deliberate force, the clink echoing like a challenge. Mr. Blackwell, Shut your mouth, Richard barked, cutting her off mid-breath. He stormed forward, his polished shoes pounding the marble. The three rich girls, blonde heiress in silk, brunette socialite dripping diamonds, redhead mogul's daughter smirking, exchanged vicious glances. The blonde stepped up, lips curling. This is absurd. She's trash from Harlem, Richard. Do you want your legacy tainted by someone like her? Emily tugged at her father's sleeve, tears welling. But Dad, Aisha's always there. She reads to me, holds me when I'm scared. The others just pose and smile. Richard yanked his arm free, his voice thundering. Enough. Those women are from proper families. Wealth, status, breeding. This one? He jabbed a finger at Aisha, inches from her face. She's nothing. Black, poor, uneducated. You disgrace us all. Aisha's fists balled at her sides, nails digging into palms to hold back the storm inside. I've cared for Emily like my own since her mother passed. That's more than... Like your own? Richard sneered, interrupting again. He snatched a crystal glass from the table and hurled it at her feet, shards exploding across the floor. A sliver nicked Aisha's ankle, blood blooming on her uniform, but she didn't budge. The brunette laughed sharply. See, she's used to messes. Let her clean it up before she leaves. For good. Emily screamed, rushing to Aisha's side, hugging her waist. No, don't send her away. Richard grabbed Emily's arm, pulling her back with a yank that made her stumble. This ends now. Aisha, you're fired. Pack your rags and get out. You're not family, you're hired help, and disposable at that. Aisha straightened, blood trickling down her leg, but her voice held steady, a blade of its own. Fire me if you must, Mr. Blackwell. But remember, a real family isn't bought with money or status. It's earned through love. One day you'll see how empty your world is without it. She turned, shoulders squared, ignoring the gasp from the guests as she walked toward the door. The redhead whispered loudly, Good riddance. People like her drag everyone down to their level. Richard's chest heaved, rage boiling. But as Aisha vanished into the hall, Emily's sobs pierced him, raw, unrelenting. He shoved her toward the stairs. Go to your room. This nonsense stops tonight. The rich girls nodded approvingly, but Richard's hand trembled slightly, the first crack in his armor. Emily resisted, kicking. I hate you. Aisha's my mom now. He dragged her up, the echoes of her cries fading, but the room felt heavier, the air thick with unspoken poison. The blonde tilted her head. You did the right thing, Richard. Can't have that kind of mixing with us. He nodded curtly, but inside a flicker of doubt ignited. Why did Emily's choice sting so deep? He poured another drink, slamming it back, the burn matching the fire in his gut. Yet as the party resumed in forced chatter, he couldn't shake Aisha's words hanging like a noose. The confrontation had shattered the facade, but the real storm was just brewing. Richard paced, replaying the scene. Aisha's unyielding stare, Emily's betrayal in her eyes. He dismissed the guests early, the rich girls leaving with smug waves. Alone in his study, he stared at a photo of his late wife, her smile mocking his isolation. What have I done? He muttered, but pride choked the admission. Meanwhile, Aisha, bandaging her ankle in a cab to Harlem, whispered to herself, Emily needs me. I won't abandon her. The divide widened, but bridges of regret began to form in the shadows. You think firing me erases what I've built with Emily? Aisha's voice cut sharply, her chin lifted high despite the blood seeping from her ankle. She locked eyes with Richard, refusing to crumble under his glare. The shards crunched beneath her shoes as she stepped forward, not back. I've been her rock when you weren't. Late nights, fevers, nightmares. You were closing deals. I was there. Richard's face reddened, veins bulging. How dare you lecture me? You're fired. Gone. Take your self-righteous attitude back to the streets where it belongs. He waved dismissively, turning to the rich girls for support. The blonde nodded viciously. Exactly. Pack up and crawl out. Aisha's teeth ground together, pain shooting up her leg, but she held firm. Emily broke free from Richard's grip, rushing to Aisha again. Please don't go. You're my family. Aisha knelt despite the sting, hugging the girl tight, her uniform soaking Emily's tears. Sweetheart, I have to. But remember, real love doesn't vanish with a paycheck. Richard lunged, prying Emily away. Stop poisoning her mind. Security, escort this woman out. Two guards appeared, hesitating at Aisha's unyielding stance. She rose slowly, smoothing Emily's hair one last time. Mr. Blackwell, you can throw me out, but you can't throw away the truth. Emily chose me because she sees what you refuse to. Heart over heritage. The brunette scoffed, interrupting. Heart, please. You're just a maid playing pretend. Get lost before we call the cops. Aisha ignored her, focusing on Richard. One day your pride will cost you everything, and when it does, you'll wish you'd listened. She turned toward the door, each step deliberate, blood trailing faintly on the marble. Emily wailed, kicking against Richard's hold. Let her stay. I hate all of you. The redhead smirked. Drama from the help. How quaint. Richard shoved Emily toward a nanny. Take her upstairs, now. As Aisha reached the threshold, she paused, glancing back. Her voice dropped low, laced with quiet power. Emily, stay strong. I'll always care, no matter what. The door slammed behind her, but her words lingered like a slap. Outside, rain pelted the New York streets, but Aisha walked straight, hailing a cab with steady hands. Inside, she bandaged her wound roughly, whispering, This isn't over. Not for Emily's sake. Back in the mansion, Richard slammed his fist on the table, shards scattering further. Insolent woman. Who does she think she is? The rich girls circled him, cooing. You handled it perfectly. Can't let inferiors dictate. But Richard's pulse raced, Aisha's prophecy echoing. He poured another drink, downing it fast, the burn failing to drown the unease. Emily's distant sobs filtered down, a relentless reminder. He paced the empty hall, replaying her departure. That defiant gaze, the hug with his daughter. Damn it, he muttered, cracking open Emily's door later. She curled up on the bed, clutching a photo of Aisha. Why, Dad? Why chase her away? He froze, no answer ready. Go to sleep. But as he left, guilt gnawed deeper, her silence heavier than any scream. The party guests whispered departures, scandal buzzing. Richard, alone in his study, stared at the bloodstain on the floor. Was I wrong? The question hung, unanswered, as Aisha's cab vanished into Harlem's lights, her resolve hardening like steel. In the cab, Aisha leaned back, eyes fierce. They think I'm broken? Not today. She texted her brother. Lost the job, but not the fight. Arrival at her cramped apartment brought no tears, only action. She cleaned the cut, changed clothes, and sat by the window, mind racing. Emily's face fueled her fire. I'll find a way back. Meanwhile, Richard tossed in bed, Aisha's words replaying. Pride will cost you everything. Dawn crept in, but sleep evaded him, the first seeds of regret sprouting. She's gone, and good riddance, Richard snarled to himself, slamming the study door. But Emily's sobs upstairs drilled into his skull like nails. He poured a scotch, neat, and downed it in one gulp, the fire in his throat matching the rage in his chest. Ungrateful child, choosing that woman over everything I built. He stormed up the stairs, shoving Emily's door open. She huddled on the bed, clutching a stuffed bear Aisha had mended last month. Stop crying, it's over. Emily's eyes flashed defiance. You threw her away like trash. She's better than those fake women. Better than you. Richard's hand twitched, but he held back. Watch your mouth. Go to sleep. He turned to leave, but spotted her open diary on the nightstand. Curiosity, or guilt, pulled him closer. He flipped it open, pages filled with childish scrawl. Aisha makes the best pancakes. She listens when Dad doesn't. His breath caught. Today, Aisha held me when I missed Mom. She's like my real mom now. He slammed the book shut, heart pounding. Lies, manipulation. But the words burned a crack in his iron facade. He sank into the chair, rereading entries. Aisha teaching Emily to tie her shoes, soothing nightmares while he jetted off to meetings. She sees me, one line read, not like the rich ladies who just want Dad's money. Richard's fist clenched, knuckles white. Doubt crept in like poison. Was I blind? He paced, replaying the scene. Aisha's steady gaze, her refusal to beg. The blood on the floor downstairs mocked him now. He grabbed the diary again, flipping deeper. A drawing fell out. Emily, Richard, and Aisha holding hands labeled my family. His stomach twisted. No, she's just the help. But the evidence stared back. Small, undeniable proof he'd shattered something real. Emily stirred, whispering in sleep. Aisha, don't go. Richard froze, guilt slamming him harder than any boardroom loss. He tucked the drawing away, but it seared his pocket. Rifling through her drawer for more, his fingers brushed an old envelope, yellowed with age. It was from his late wife, addressed to Emily, but never opened. He tore it, scanning. My dear girl, if I'm gone, trust those who show love, not status. Beware the family's old debts. Victor knows too much. He frowned, the words cryptic, unrelated to tonight's mess. What debts? He shoved it back, dismissing it as grief ramblings. But the seed planted, a mystery lurking. Downstairs, he scrubbed the bloodstain himself, knees on marble, the act humiliating. Damn her for making me question. The rich girls texted, handled brilliantly, call us. He deleted them, unease growing. Emily's diary haunted him, proof he'd misjudged, that Aisha wasn't just a maid, but the glue holding his daughter together. He collapsed in bed, staring at the ceiling. Sleep evaded, replaced by flashes. Aisha's prophecy, Emily's choice. Pride costs everything, she'd said. By dawn, regret festered, a quiet storm building. He needed to fix this, find her, make it right. But pride whispered, wait. The mansion felt colder, emptier, as if Aisha's absence had sucked out the warmth. In Harlem, Aisha unpacked her few belongings, bandaged tight. Her brother asked, what happened? She forced a smile. Fired for being real. But her mind raced to Emily. I can't leave her like that. Resolve hardened. She'd fight back somehow. Back at the mansion, Richard eyed the dawn light. Decision forming. He had to track her down. The crack had widened. Regret's first wave crashed in, but deeper shadows stirred, the envelope's hint of old secrets waiting to erupt. Find her! Now! Richard barked into the phone, his voice cracking like a whip. The private investigator on the line hesitated. Sir, it's late. Harlem's not exactly... I don't care about your excuses. Track that black maid down. Aisha Thompson. I need her back. He slammed the receiver, chest heaving, Emily's diary burning in his pocket like an accusation. He paced his study, regret clawing deeper. Damn her words. Pride costs everything. Flashbacks hit. Aisha's unbowed stance. Emily's desperate hug. He grabbed his keys, storming to the garage. Screw the PI. I'll do it myself. Tires screeched out of the Manhattan driveway. Rain-slick streets blurring as he sped toward Harlem. Traffic jammed, horns blaring, but Richard's mind raced faster. Why her? Why not the heiresses? He cut off a cab, ignoring the driver's curse. Arriving in Harlem, neon signs flickered on rundown buildings. He parked the Bentley, drawing stares. Where's Aisha Thompson? He demanded from a corner store owner, who eyed him suspiciously. Who wants to know? Rich white guy like you lost. Richard's jaw tightened. She's my employee. Fired her. Need to fix it. The owner laughed bitterly. Fix? You always fix after breaking. She lives down the block, but good luck. Folks here protect their own. Richard pushed past, knocking on doors. At first, an elderly black woman slammed it shut. Ain't talking to Suits, he persisted, sweat beading despite the chill. Door 3, a young man blocked the frame. What do you want with Aisha? Heard you threw her out like garbage. Richard's temper flared. That's between us. Tell me where. No way. She helps my kid with homework. You're the problem. The door banged shut. Richard's fists balled, frustration boiling. This neighborhood, full of resentment. But doubt nagged. Was he the intruder? He spotted a community center. Lights on. Inside, volunteers bustled. Aisha? Yeah, she volunteers here, a coordinator said warily. But after what you did, don't expect a welcome. Richard pressed. I made a mistake. Emily needs her. The woman crossed her arms. Emily? Or your conscience? She relented slightly. Try the clinic down the street. She picks up shifts. At the clinic, nurses whispered as he entered. That's the billionaire who fired her. A doctor approached. Mr. Blackwell? Aisha mentioned you, not kindly. Richard's voice dropped. I need to see her, please. The doctor sighed. She's not here now, but word is, she's at her apartment, licking wounds you caused. Address in hand, Richard drove on, heart pounding. Knocking on Aisha's door, no answer. He waited, leaning against the wall, replaying Emily's sobs. Hours ticked. Finally, footsteps. Aisha opened, eyes widening. You? Here? Richard stepped forward. We need to talk. She blocked him. Nothing to say. You made your choice. He pushed. Emily's falling apart, crying all night. Aisha's expression flickered. Pain, then resolve. That's on you. Neighbors gathered, murmuring. Trouble? One asked. Richard ignored them. I was wrong. Come back. Aisha's laugh was sharp. Wrong? You humiliated me. Call me low-class trash. He grabbed her arm, gently but firm. Let me explain. She yanked free. Explain? You hurled glass, fired me publicly. For what? My skin? My background? Guilt surged. It was pride. Fear of judgment. Aisha's eyes blazed. Fear? Try living it daily. She slammed the door, but Richard pounded. Please. Emily drew us as a family. Silence, then it cracked open. You read her diary? He nodded. Proof I screwed up. Aisha hesitated, neighbors watching. Fine. Talk, but not here. They walked to a nearby diner, tension thick. Over coffee, Richard confessed. I built an empire, but lost sight of heart. Emily chose you for a reason. Aisha sipped, guarded. Reason? I was there. You weren't. He leaned in. Help me change that. She shook her head. Change? Start by seeing Harlem, not as slums, but home. He nodded, absorbing stares from patrons. Deal. But come back. Aisha's resolve wavered. Not yet. Prove it. As they left, Richard felt lighter, but the search had exposed cracks in his world. Back home, Emily asked, Did you find her? He lay softly. Working on it. Regret fueled determination. He'd drag her back, whatever the cost. The journey stripped his arrogance layer by layer, but deeper mysteries beckoned, hidden in old letters waiting to surface. You're wrong if you think one visit fixes everything. Aisha shot back in the diner, her fork stabbing the pie like a weapon. She pushed it aside, eyes locked on Richard across the booth. My world. It's not your pity tour, it's survival. Richard leaned forward. Show me. Prove I can change. Aisha's lips pressed thin, doubt etched deep. Fine. Follow me. But one wrong word, you're out. They left the diner, stepping into Harlem's pulse. Kids laughing on stoops, elders nodding from porches. Aisha led, her stride confident, ignoring Richard's awkward glances. This is home, not your polished prison. First stop, the clinic where she volunteered. Nurses greeted her warmly. Aisha, the kid in room 3 needs you. She nodded, motioning Richard inside. Watch. A young boy, feverish, clutched his mom's hand. Aisha knelt, voice soothing. Hey, champ, remember me? Let's check that temp. She worked swiftly, thermometer in, meds prepped. The mom whispered, Lost my job. Can't afford. Aisha cut in. We got you. The community fund covers it. Richard watched, silent, as Aisha administered care, her hands steady from hidden med school days. The boy smiled weakly. Thanks, Miss Aisha. You're like a doctor. She ruffled his hair. Just helping. Outside, Richard murmured, You're good at this. Aisha's gaze hardened. I was pre-med once. Dropped out for my brother. Cancer. No fancy scholarships for folks like me. Richard's throat tightened. I didn't know. Why would you? You never asked. Next, her apartment building, cramped but alive. Neighbors swarmed. Aisha, that suit is bothering you? She waved them off. He's learning. Upstairs, her brother, frail but grinning, wheeled out. Sis, who's the rich guy? Aisha hugged him. Job drama, but we're good. She cooked quickly, rice, beans, and spices filling the air. Richard sat awkwardly, tasting. This beats my chef, Aisha snorted. Real food, not your caviar crap. Her brother shared stories. Aisha's nights studying by flashlight, working doubles. She's tough. Raised me after mom died. Richard's guilt spiked. Sounds like what I should have done for Emily. Aisha's eyes softened fractionally. Emily's why I'm listening. But my world's grind. Bills, bias, holding it together. She showed photos. Her as a teen, volunteering at shelters. I don't break, I build. Evening fell. They visited the community center. Aisha led a reading group. Kids circled, eyes wide. Once upon a time, her voice wove magic, kids hanging on. One girl. Miss Aisha, you're our hero. Richard observed from the back, seeing her strength, unyielding, compassionate. An elder pulled him aside. She fights for us. Don't drag her down. Back outside, Aisha's confronted. Seen enough? This is me, not your servant. Richard nodded. More than enough. You're unbreakable. She crossed her arms. Unbreakable? I'm exhausted, but I push on. For my family, like Emily. He offered his hand. Come back. As equals. Aisha hesitated, then shook. Equals? Prove it daily. In her quiet moments alone later, Aisha stared at old med books, fingers tracing pages. Maybe a second chance. Her world pulsed with resilience, a stark mirror to Richard's emptiness. But as she texted a friend about the crazy billionaire, hope flickered. Perhaps bridges could span the divide. Richard drove home, mind reeling from Aisha's unyielding spirit. She's no victim. She's a force. Emily waited, eyes hopeful. Did you see her? He hugged her. Yes, and she's coming back, if we earn it. The journey deepened his resolve, but Aisha's world lingered, a call to true change. Equals? Don't mock me with words you don't mean, Aisha fired back, her hand slapping the diner table, coffee cups rattling. Richard recoiled, but held her gaze. I mean it. Come back, not as a maid, as Emily's guardian. Full pay, respect. Aisha's eyes narrowed, arms crossing like a shield. Respect? After you shattered the glass at my feet? Call me slum trash? Richard's jaw clenched, guilt surging. I was blind. I am proud. Seeing your world, it hit hard. He reached across, but she pulled back. Hit hard? Try living it, begging for scraps while you sip champagne. Silence struck, heavy as a punch. Aisha leaned in, voice low and lethal. Fine. Talk. But conditions or walk? He nodded sharply. Name them. Aisha's fingers drummed, resolving stealing. 1. Public apology. At your next board meeting, admit racism, the class BS. Richard's face paled. Public. My reputation. Your reputation? Mine's in shreds because of you. He swallowed. Done, she pressed. 2. Join me in Harlem Weekly. Volunteer. See the grind up close. His fist tightened. Weekly? I run an empire. An empire built on backs like mine. Do it or no deal. Richard's pulse hammered, but Emily's face flashed. Sobbing, broken. Agreed. Aisha wasn't done. 3. Emily gets therapy. For the loss, the chaos you caused? He bristled. She's fine. Fine? She chose me over your puppets. She's hurting. Defeat washed over him. Okay, all of it. Aisha studied him, searching for lies. Prove it starts tomorrow. Pick me up at dawn for the center. He extended his hand. Deal. She shook firmly, grip like iron. Break it, and I'm gone forever. Tension eased fractionally as they stood. Outside, Harlem's hum surrounded them. Cars honking, voices calling. Richard glanced around. This place, it's alive. Aisha smirked faintly. More than your sterile tower. They walked to her building, awkward silence breaking. Why pre-med? He asked. She halted. Dreamed of saving lives. My brother's cancer crushed it. No time for dreams when family's dying. Richard's throat bobbed. I could have helped, if I'd known. Known? You never looked. At her door, she paused. One more thing. No pity, earn trust. He nodded. Starting now. As she entered, Richard lingered, phone buzzing, bored texts mocking his soft spot. He ignored them, driving home with fire in his veins. Emily rushed him at the door. Did she say yes? He knelt. With rules, but yes. Her hug crushed him, tears soaking his shirt. Upstairs, unpacking old boxes for calm, Aisha's fingers brushed a forgotten envelope, yellowed, sealed. From Mrs. Blackwell? How'd I forget? She'd kept it safe years ago, a dying wish. Tearing it open, words leaped. Aisha, if trouble comes, show Richard this. Victor Lang betrayed us. Faked deals, hid funds. Proof in the old safe. Protect Emily. Her breath caught, heart racing. Betrayal? From his partner? She clutched it, mind whirling. This changes everything. Richard, meanwhile, stared at his wife's photo. What secrets did you keep? Dawn approached. He'd fetch Aisha, unaware of the bomb ticking. The reconciliation forged a fragile alliance, but the envelope's revelation cracked open doors to darker truths. Aisha paced her room, letter in hand. Victor's name, same as that rival he rants about. She hid it in her bag. Tomorrow, I tell him. Or wait. Resolve hardened. She'd test his change first. Richard tossed in bed, conditions replaying. Public apology? It'll cost allies. But Emily's peace outweighed it. The hook sank deep. Peace conditional. Mysteries unfolding. You think dragging that black maid back elevates you? It just exposes your weakness. Victor Lang snarled, bursting into Richard's office unannounced, his fist slamming the desk. Papers scattered, coffee spilling. Richard shot up, veins bulging. Lang, get out! This isn't your turf anymore. Victor's laugh barked, cold and cutting. Turf? I built half this empire before you stabbed me in the back. Now you're parading her, Aisha, like some diversity trophy? Aisha, entering with files, froze mid-step. You? The old partner from the letter? Victor's eyes raked her, lips curling. Ah, the help speaks. Read my name in your trash, did you? Stay in your lane, girl. Richard stepped between them. Watch your mouth. She's family now. Victor circled, shark-like. Family, pathetic. You fire her one night, beg her back the next. Weakness reeks. Aisha's jaw locked, fists clenching. Weakness? Try the truth. Your betrayal's in black and white. Victor halted, eyes narrowing to slits. Betrayal? That letter's ancient lies. Your wife scribbled nonsense before she croaked. Richard lunged, grabbing Victor's collar. Don't you dare mention her. Victor shoved back, tie ripping. Dare? I know secrets that'd bury you both. Funds siphoned, deals faked. Your empire on sand. Aisha's pulse thundered, letter burning in her pocket. Proof's here. You hid it all. Victor snatched at her bag, but she yanked away. Give it, or I'll make sure Harlem swallows you whole. Richard pinned him against the wall. Threats? You're done. Victor twisted free, breath ragged. Done? I'm just starting. Board whispers. Your reform stinks of desperation. Elevating her? Investors flee. Emily peeked in, eyes wide. Dad? Who's yelling? Victor spotted her, smirk twisting. The heir? Teach her right. Keep inferiors down. Aisha pulled Emily close, shielding. Out. Now. Victor straightened his jacket. Fine, but watch your back. Secrets don't stay buried. He stormed out, door slamming like thunder. Richard's hands shook, rage simmering. That bastard, always scheming. Aisha unfolded the letter, voice steady. He knows too much. This isn't a coincidence. They pored over it, cryptic lines about Victor's fraud, hidden accounts. Richard's face drained. My wife's death. Stress from business. If he caused it, Aisha's grip tightened on his arm. We dig. Now. But Victor's parting glare lingered, a promise of war. Outside, Victor dialed a shadow contact. Blackwell's onto the letter. Accelerate. Ruin him. Back inside, Richard paced. He's poisonous. Board meeting tomorrow. He'll sabotage. Aisha's resolve hardened. Then we strike first. Uncover his dirt. Emily hugged her leg. Scary man gone? Aisha knelt. For now, but we're stronger. Victor's thug tailed them later, unseen. Richard felt eyes, paranoia spiking. He's watching. Aisha nodded. Let him. We'll expose him. The enemy revealed Tu Jich Bung No. A moo uncoiling like a snake. Richard slammed files. Old deals. Victor's signature everywhere. Fakes? Aisha scanned. Matches the letter. He's the thief. Tension built, Victor's threats echoing. Board allies called. Lang's rallying votes against you. Richard's fist clenched. Bastard. Aisha pushed. Confront or gather proof? Decision loomed, danger closing. Hidden funds? I'll bury you deeper than your wife's grave if you dig. Victor hissed over the phone, his voice a venomous slash before the line went dead. Richard hurled the device across the room, shattering it against the wall. Bastard thinks he can scare me off. Aisha snatched up the pieces, her fingers flying. Scare? He's cornered. That letter's our weapon. Let's tear it open. They dove in, desks piled with old files yanked from storage. Richard rifled through yellowed contracts, sweat beading. Victor's signatures everywhere. But these numbers, off. Aisha cross-checked the letter's clues. Hidden accounts? Offshore? Match this to bank statements. She dialed a contact, an old Harlem accountant, voice gravelly. Aisha, what mess you in? Big one. Scan these docs. Look for fraud. Hours blurred, coffee gone cold. Richard paced, slamming fists. My wife suspected him. Stress killed her. His doing? Aisha's eyes flashed. Prove it. Next, her old safe. They raced to the basement vault, dust choking. Richard spun the dial, wrong once, cursed, then clicked. Inside, ledgers, tapes. Victor's voice on this, admitting Cook's the books. Aisha transcribed furiously. Dates match your losses. He siphoned millions. A knock. Emily. Dad? Hungry? Richard waved her off. Later. But Aisha knelt. Sweetie, help sort these papers? You're smart. Emily beamed, stacking. Like a puzzle? Tension eased, but Victor's shadow loomed. Phone buzzed, anonymous text. Stop digging or Emily pays. Richard's grip crushed the screen. He's threatening my daughter. Aisha's jaw set. Bait. Trace it. They called a PI, the same one from before. Lang's burner leads to his office. Richard grabbed the keys. We confront. Aisha blocked. No. Evidence first. Fish his emails. She hacked the basics. Password guesses from old deals. Got in. Look, transfers to shells. Richard scrolled, rage building. Millions vanished. My wife's charity fund. Gutted. Aisha printed. Motive? Greed. He framed her to cover. Midnight stakeout, Victor's building. They parked shadows away, binoculars up. Victor exited, arguing on the phone. Blackwell's on to me. Silence him, Aisha whispered. Record. The phone came rolling, and they caught snippets. Hide the ledgers. Burn if needed. Richard's knuckles whitened. Burn? Over my corpse. Back home, they pieced audio to docs. Links clear. He sabotaged deals, blamed her. Emily slept. They whispered in the kitchen. Why now? Richard growled. My weakness with you, perfect distraction. Aisha's fist hit the table. Use it. Board tomorrow. Expose partial. But a crash. The window shattered. Brick through glass. Note. Back off. Richard shielded Aisha. He's desperate. She snatched the note. Fingerprints. Sloppy. Cops came. Useless. No proof. Aisha fumed. We build it. Dawn broke. They interviewed ex-employees. One trembled. Victor paid me to alter records. Threatened my family. Tape rolling. Names. Dates. He spilled. 2018. Your wife's audit. He forged her sign-off. Richard's voice cracked. She died fighting that lie. Isha gripped his shoulder. Justice now. Puzzle grew. Emails chained to offshore banks. Aisha wired a hacker friend. Decrypt these. Codes cracked. Victor's confessions. Blackwell's blind. I'll take it all. Richard roared. Traitor! But a tail spotted. Victor's goon. Chase ensued, car screeching. Lose him! Aisha swerved alleys. Got away. Home safe, they compiled. Dossier thick. Emily drew beside. For Mom? Richard hugged her. Yes. Aisha added the final piece. Wife's diary, matching letter. She knew. Warned us. Tears stung Richard's eyes. I failed her. Aisha's voice is firm. Redeem now. Expose him. Investigation forged bonds, unearthing pain. But the full truth hovered, ready to explode. Richard stared at the pile. Enough for an arrest? Isha nodded. Almost. One more link. His current scheme. They hacked deeper, finding ties to board votes. He's buying allies. Paranoia peaked. Locks changed. Emily asked, Safe? Isha hugged. With us? Always. The hunt intensified, Victor's noose tightening. She's dead because of you. Your greed killed her, Richard roared, slamming the decrypted file onto the table, pages fluttering like accusations. Victor's recorded confession blared from the laptop. Blackwell's wife suspected the fraud, had to silence her, stress did the rest. Aisha's hands shook, letters clutched tight. Murder by proxy, you monster! Richard's face contorted, fists pounding wood. Explain this. Tapes, emails. You faked the audits, siphoned funds, blamed her. The truth exploded. Victor's scheme unveiled. Millions stolen. Deals rigged to collapse. His wife's suicide from the fallout. Aisha replayed the audio. Hear that? She knew too much. Pushed her over the edge. Richard collapsed into a chair, breath ragged. She fought depression after the scandals. Your scandals. Aisha paced, connecting dots. The letter warned me. She hid the proof for Emily. Flashbacks hit Richard, wife's final days, pale, whispering, Victor's lying. He grabbed the phone. Confront him now. Aisha blocked. No, solidify. This ties to your empire's crash. They dug deeper, cross-referencing. Offshore accounts in his name. Transfers post her death. Richard's voice broke. Profit from her grave. Bastard. Emily entered, rubbing her eyes. Noise? Aisha knelt fast. Grown-up stuff. Back to bed. But Emily saw the tension. Mom's picture? Richard pulled her close. We're avenging her. Truth's weight crushed. Victor's betrayal, not just theft, but destruction of family. Aisha's resolve ignited. He isolated her, spread rumors. Stress triggered the end. Richard's tears fell, a rare vulnerability. I believed the lies. Failed her. Audio looped. Victor's chuckle. Blackwell's blind wife's the scapegoat. Aisha paused it. Motive clear. Control the board. Oust you. Richard stood, fire returning. He orchestrated her breakdown. Anonymous tips. Forged docs. Puzzle complete. Wife's diary entries matched. Victor's threats. Hidden ledgers. Aisha printed timelines. See? The day before she died. Meeting with him. Rage boiled over. Richard smashed a vase. Shards flying. I'll ruin him. Aisha gripped his arm. Smart. Use this in court. But shock waves rippled. Board emails flooded. Lang's calling emergency vote. Victor's countermove. Aisha's eyes widened. He knows we're close. Accelerate. They compiled the dossier, an irrefutable chain from past fraud to present sabotage. Emily lingered. Bad man hurt Mom? Richard nodded, hugging fiercely. But we'll stop him. Truth liberated pain, forged fury. Aisha tucked the letter away. This ends him. But Victor's final text buzzed. Truth hurts. Yours next. Revelation shattered illusions, catapulting them toward confrontation. Richard stared at his wife's photo. Forgive me, Isha whispered. She'd want justice. Bonds tightened, storm brewing. Victor's empire teetered, unaware the avalanche approached. You orchestrated her death. Your lies broke her, Richard thundered, bursting into Victor's dimly lit office, dossier slamming onto the desk like a gavel. Victor leaped up, chair crashing back, face twisting into a snarl. Blackwell, how dare you barge in, and with your pet maid, get out before I call security. Aisha stepped forward, eyes blazing, letters thrust out. Pet, try Avenger. This proves you faked the audits, siphoned funds, drove her to the edge. Victor's hand shot out, snatching at the paper, but Richard intercepted, shoving him back. Touch her and you're done. Victor recovered, laughing, barking, sharp. Done. You're the fool. Digging up ghosts won't save your crumbling throne. Richard's fist clenched, knuckles cracking. Ghosts? My wife's blood on your hands. Stress from your fraud. Victor circled the desk, voice dropping lethal. Stress? She was weak. Cracked under pressure, I applied. But you? Bringing this black nobody into my space? Pathetic dilution of power. Aisha's teeth ground, stepping closer. Nobody. I see you. Thief. Murderer by proxy. Victor lunged, grabbing Aisha's arm, twisting hard. Shut your mouth, slum rat. Pain shot up her limb, but she kneed his gut, breaking free. Rat. Try survivor. Richard charged, tackling Victor against the wall, frames shattering. Release her! Victor elbowed free, breath ragged, pulling a drawer, glint of metal. You want the truth? Here's mine. Stay back, or she gets it first. Aisha's pulse hammered, dodging as Victor swung a letter opener like a blade. Coward! Hiding behind threats. Richard disarmed him with a punch, opener clattering. Talk! Why kill her indirectly? Victor wiped blood from his lips, sneering, returning. Kill? Business. She found the siphons, threatened exposure. I leaked rumors, isolated her. Depression did the rest. Clean hands. Richard's roar echoed, pinning Victor down. Clean? You destroyed my family. Aisha grabbed cuffs from her bag, prep from PI. Cuff him. Cops en route. But Victor twisted, kneeing Richard's ribs, rolling free. Family? Yours is tainted now. With her. He bolted for the door, Aisha blocking. Tainted by justice? Victor shoved her hard, shoulder slamming the wall, but she tripped him, body crashing. Sirens wailed distance. Cops called earlier. Victor scrambled up, wild. You think this ends me? I have backups. Proof of your dirt. Richard hauled him up by the collar. Bluff. We have everything. Tapes. Transfers. Victor's eyes darted, desperation cracking. Not everything. The final wire. Straight to her account. Framed her perfectly. Aisha's breath caught, shoving Victor against the filing cabinets. Framed? You planted it. He laughed maniacally. Yes, she took the fall. Your blind trust sealed it. Richard's punch landed square and Victor slumped. Liar! But doubt flickered. Aisha saw it. He's stalling. Search for him. Pockets yielded USB, more files. This? The nail. Guards burst in. Victor's payroll. Boss? Victor gasped. Take them! Melee erupted. Aisha dodged a swing, kicking low. Richard grappled one, elbow to throat. Run, Aisha! She refused, grabbing a lamp, smashing it over a guard's head. Together! Sirens neared, guards hesitating. Victor crawled toward the exit. Fools, you'll pay! Cops flooded, badges flashing. Freeze! Victor cuffed, spitting. This isn't over. Secret's deeper. Richard panted, arm around Aisha. Over for you. But Victor's final glare pierced. Ask about the child. Aisha's gut twisted. Child? What child? Haul away, Victor's laugh faded. Richard clutched his ribs. Bluff. Aisha shook her head. No, probe deeper. Danger peaked, truth's edge sharper, pushing them into the abyss. Emily texted, Home safe? Richard replied, Soon? But Victor's words echoed, deeper secrets lurking. Aisha pocketed the USB. Decrypt this, now. Adrenaline surge, Bond tested in fire. Child? What child? You cryptic bastard! Aisha snarled, lunging at Victor's cuffed form as cops hauled him away, her nails scraping his sleeve. Victor twisted, grinning through bloodied lips. Ask your family. The proof's in the old vault, deeper than you think. Richard shoved forward, face contorted. Spit it, or I'll make you. Cops intervened, batons raised. Back off. He's ours now. Aisha's chest heaved, adrenaline surging. Vault? Your wife's safe. We missed something. Richard's eyes widened, his ribs aching from the brawl. Deeper layer? Let's tear it open. They bolted from Victor's office, sirens fading behind. In the car, Richard floored it toward the mansion. He mentioned a child, Emily, or Aisha's fists balled. Bait, but we check everything. Mansion gates clanged open. They stormed the basement, Emily peeking from the stairs. Dad? Hurt? Richard barked. Stay up. Safe. Aisha softened. We're okay, sweetie. Help later. Vault doors yawned. They yanked drawers, files spilling. Deeper, hidden compartment? Richard pried panels, wood splintering under force. Click. A false bottom popped. Inside, sealed envelope, ultrasound photo tumbling out. Richard's breath caught, photo shaking in hand. This, a son? My wife's? Aisha snatched the accompanying letter. From her doctor. Miscarriage. Stress-induced. Dated after Victor's fraud leak. Richard's knees buckled, photo crumpling. She never told me. Carried alone because of him. Aisha's voice cracked. Proof ultimate. His actions killed too. They rifled further. Bank stubs linking Victor's wires to smear campaigns against the wife. Anonymous tips to press. Unstable exec. He isolated her. Richard's roar echoed. Murderer! Phone buzzed. PI. Victor's goons en route. Flee. Aisha grabbed the envelope. Run! Copy this first. They scanned docs furiously. Printer whirring. Footsteps thundered above. Goons breaching. Out back! Richard yanked Aisha through tunnels, an old escape route. Goons burst through the basement door. Find them! Bullets pinged walls. They sprinted, hearts pounding. Aisha tripped, ankle twisting. Same from the glass night. Go! Richard hauled her up. Together! Emerging in the alley, a car was waiting. Tires screeched away. Goons' SUV tailing. Chase raced through New York streets. Horns blaring. Lights streaking. Richard swerved alleys. Lose them! Aisha checked the mirror. Closing! She grabbed the phone, dialing the cops. Ambush at Vault. Victor's men. Sirens joined the pursuit. Goon rammed bumper. Car spun. Richard corrected, slamming brakes. Goons overshot. Cops swarmed, arrested mid-street. Safe at hideout, PI's safe house. Aisha bandaged ankle. Docs spread. Ultrasound ties it. Stress from fraud causes loss. Richard paced, photo clutched. My son, gone because of greed. Aisha cross-referenced. Emails confirm. Victor knew pregnancy, pushed harder. Final piece. Wire transfer, post-miscarriage. Hush money to doctor. Covered tracks. Emily called. Scared, alone. Aisha soothed. Coming, strong like mom. Richard's resolve hardened. This ends him. For them. They compiled irrefutable chain. Fraud, isolation, deaths. But Victor's jail call was intercepted by PI. Burn the backups. Aisha's eyes narrowed. One last raid. His secret storage. They infiltrated Victor's warehouse. Dark, guarded. Aisha picked lock skills from Harlem survival. Guards patrolled. They ducked crates. There, safe. Richard cracked it. Laptops, drives. Download all. Alarm blared. Guards charged. Fists flew. Aisha disarmed one, knee to the groin. Richard choked another. Data transferred, complete. Escape, narrow, bullets whizzing. Back safe, drives revealed. Full confessions. Videos of Victor gloating. Wife cracked easily. Bonus, the kid. Richard smashed the screen. Monster! Aisha backed up files. Court ready. He rots. Evidence sealed, vengeance fueled. But revelation's scar deepened. Lost child haunting. Richard stared at the ultrasound. Named him? Never knew. Aisha hugged. Honor them. Expose. Bond unbreakable. Final storm loomed. You think a dead woman's scraps bury me? I'll drag your family to hell first, Victor bellowed from the courtroom stand, cuffs rattling as he lunged at the projector screen, flashing his confessions. The judge's gavel cracked like thunder. Order, defendant, sit! Richard stood rigid in the witness box, dossier clutched, eyes locked on Victor. Scraps? This ultrasound, my unborn son, lost to your stress campaign. Gasps ripped through the gallery. Board members, press, Emily, wide-eyed in the back with Aisha's arm around her. Aisha rose, voice slicing air. Your words on tape. Wife cracked easy. Bonus, the kid. Murder by greed. Victor's face purpled, spitting. Lies, forged. But the audio boomed, his voice gloating over siphons, isolation tactics. Richard advanced, flipping slides, wires, emails, ledgers. You faked audits, blamed her, profited millions while she shattered. Victor interrupted, chains clanking. She was weak. I deserved it for snooping. The prosecutor pounced. Admission! The gallery erupted, flashes blinded. Aisha shoved forward, USB raised. More. Your backups. Downloaded before you burn them. Victor's eyes bulged, lunging again. You thief! That black witch stole... Bailiff tackled him, knee to the back. Quiet, Richard's voice thundered. Witch! She's the hero exposing you. Slides advanced. Timeline. Fraud dates matching wife's decline. Miscarriage confirmation. Emily stood. You hurt my mom. My brother, Victor sneered. Brother? Phantom. Your dad's delusion. Aisha slammed the stand. Delusion? Doctors report stress-induced loss. Your leaks caused it. The judge leaned in. Evidence? The prosecutor played the video. Victor's gloat. Gallery hushed, horror palpable. Board allies shifted, whispering. Lang's finished. Victor twisted. Bribed witnesses. That Maid's revenge for firing. Richard's fist hit the rail. Revenge? Justice. For my wife. Son. Empire you gutted. Aisha interjected. And Harlem. Funds you stole hit communities like mine. Victor laughed maniacally. Communities? Insects? I built real power. The prosecutor closed. Your confession seals it. Fraud, manslaughter by proxy. Verdict loomed. Jury filed out. Victor glared from the box. This flips. My lawyers shred you. But hours later, the foreman rose. Guilty, all counts. Chaos, Victor roared, drag kicking. No! Blackwell, you pay. Richard exhaled, turning to Aisha. Ended. She nodded, hugging Emily. For them. Gallery cleared, press swarmed. Mr. Blackwell, reform? He faced Cams. Yes. Empire changes. Diversity, ethics. Isha beside. Start with the truth. Victor's final glare from the van, defeated, broken. Lat KO complete. Empire reclaimed. Ghosts avenged. Richard clutched the ultrasound post-trial. Peace? Aisha squeezed her hand. Earned. Bonds sealed. Future beckoned. Justice's light-piercing shadows. Guilty. Life for the fraud. The deaths you caused. The judge's gavel smashed down. Verdict slicing air like a blade. Victor surged against chains, face contorted. No! Blackwell framed me. You all bought his lies. Richard stood unyielding in the gallery, arms crossed. Lies? Your tapes confess. Greed killed my wife. My son. Victor spat, guards yanking him back. Son? Phantom weakling like her. I built empires. You destroyed mine. Aisha stepped up, eyes locked. Destroyed? Justice crushes snakes like you. Court erupted. Press scribbling. Board allies fleeing seats. The prosecutor nodded. Restitution. Assets seized. Millions to victims. Victor twisted, voice venom. Victims? Harlem trash like you? Take it. I'll appeal from hell. Richard's fist clenched. Appeal. Evidence buries you. Wires, ultrasounds, confessions. Guards dragged Victor, boots scraping. Blackwell, your family farce ends with me? Watch, I have reached. But doors slammed, silencing him. Richard exhaled, shoulders dropping. Ended. Aisha gripped his hand. For her, for the child. Emily hugged them both. He pays now. Richard knelt. Yes, no more shadows. Outside, the press swarmed. Mr. Blackwell? Reform? He faced cams. Company purged, Victor's cronies out. Assets liquidated fast. Victor's mansions auctioned, funds flowing to charities. Aisha oversaw Harlem Clinic first, med equipment from his loot. Richard signed checks, guilt easing. Should have done sooner. Board reconvened, clean slate. Allies returned, wary. Lang's rot gone? Richard nodded. Audits clear. Empire rebuilt honestly. Victor's appeals denied. Tapes damning. Prison walls closed. He ran in a cell. Revenge! But bars were held. Richard visited the grave. Ultrasound photo was placed. Justice, love. Isha joined. She sees. Not that unraveled. Fraud victims compensated. Wife's name cleared in headlines. Heroine exonerated. Emily drew a new family portrait. No shadows. Happy now? Richard smiled. Yes. But scars lingered, fueling forward drive. Justice executed, wounds bandaged. But redemption demanded more. A grand act to heal the rift. Justice served? Not enough. You owe the world for your blindness. Atisha challenged, her voice a whip crack in the quiet study, dossier still warm from court. Richard spun, face flushed from victory. Ow? Victor rots. Empire's clean. What more? Aisha's arms crossed, unyielding. More? Harlem bleeds from crooks like him. And you. Fund it. Big. Or your change is lip service. Richard's jaw locked, pride flaring. Lip service. I confessed publicly. Apologized for the firing, the bias. Aisha stepped closer, eyes piercing. Words. Action now. Quai for black women in med school. Like I could have been. He paced, mind racing. Quai? Millions? She nodded sharply. Start with Victor's seized assets. Build clinics, scholarships. Honor your wife, her charity gutted by him. Guilt slammed him. Ultrasound photo in pocket. A constant burn. Fine, but scale it. Company-wide. Aisha's lip curled. Scale. Integrate Harlem hires. Diversity board. He halted. Board? They'll resist. Force it, or stay the old fool. Richard's fist balled, then released. Done. Launch tomorrow. The press conference dawned. Cameras flashing, mics thrust. Richard at the podium, Aisha beside. Today, the Blackwell Foundation rises. From the ashes of betrayal. Millions to underserved communities. Clinics in Harlem. Scholarships for med hopefuls. Like Aisha Thompson, my partner in this. Gas rippled. Aisha spoke. Not charity, reparation. For the bias I faced, others endured. Richard signed the charter live. Checks cut. First grant, Aisha's brother. Cancer treatment fully paid. Boardroom next, allies squirming. Diversity quotas? Investors bolt. Richard slammed the table. Bolt or evolve? Hire from Harlem, train, promote. One resisted. Costly, Aisha interjected. Costly. Ignorance cost his wife, unborn child. Silence fell. Votes swung. Approved. Groundbreaking. Harlem site, shovels biting earth. Aisha directed. Clinic here, free care, job training. Richard shoveled, sweat dripping. Feels right. Emily planted a tree. For Mom. The community gathered, elders nodding. Rich man changing? Aisha affirmed. Proving it. Company policies overhauled. Bias training mandatory. Richard led sessions. I was blind. Class, race, no more. Employees shared stories. Walls crumbled. Aisha consulted. Promote from within. Talent overlooked. Profits dipped initially, but loyalty surged. Innovation flowed. Personal redemption. Richard volunteered weekly. Clinic shifts with Aisha. Pass the meds. Hands trembled first but steadied. Patience opened. You get it now? He nodded. Learning. Aisha's brother improved. Treatment is working. Thanks to you. Richard hugged him. No, to her. Foundation grew. Scholarships awarded. Aisha mentored recipients. I dropped pre-med, don't you? One girl. Like you, strong. Aisha's eyes misted. Stronger together. Richard funded expansions, nationwide. Headlines, Billionaire's turnaround, from scandal to savior. Emily thrived, attending therapy sessions with Aisha. Dad's different. Richard read bedtime stories. Love you, always. Bonds mended. Family solidified. But doubt lingered. Richard at the grave. Did enough, Aisha joined. Starting. Keep pushing. Action scaled. Hope bloomed. Redemption not end, but journey. Foundation events. Galas in Harlem. Richard spoke. Owed this for blindness. Donors poured in. Aisha led panels. Change possible. Act. Company stocks rose. Ethics paid. Richard reflected. Lost much. Gained more. Emily's drawing. New family. Foundation logo. Our legacy. Richard framed it. Yes. Grand act healed rifts, paving hope's path. Legacy? Yours was poison. Mine rebuilt from your ruins, Richard declared at the foundation gala, his voice booming over the crowd, champagne flutes halting mid-clink. Aisha stood beside, chin high, dress hugging her frame like armor. Poison? You divided. Race, class, we unite. Guests murmured. Bored elites mixing with Harlem locals, tension electric. Emily darted through, grabbing hands. Dad, Aisha, look, clinic model's up. Richard knelt, eyes softening. Beautiful, kiddo. Your mom's spirit is in it. Flashbacks hit. Court victory, Victor's defeat. Now fruition. Aisha addressed the mic. This foundation, not a handout. Bridge. Scholarships for dreamers like me. Med school doors flung open. Applause thundered. Donors pledged millions. Richard pulled Aisha aside, voice low. You led this, my rock. She squeezed his hand. Our rock, Emily's future. The party swirled, dances, toasts. An elder approached. Changed man? Prove lasting. Richard nodded. Watch. Months unfolded, foundation thriving. Clinics rose in Harlem, patients flooding. Aisha oversaw, a stethoscope around her neck. Back to med roots, Richard volunteered, sleeves rolled. Past the charts. Hands steadied, purpose found. Home life transformed. Manhattan mansion alive. Emily's laughter echoed. Family dinners were mandatory. Pass the peas, Mom. Aisha. Slip natural. Aisha's eyes misted. Mom. Earned it. Richard watched, heart full. My girls. Therapy sessions wrapped. Emily healed. No more nightmares, Richard confessed in session. Failed before, not again. The company revolutionized, diversity hires surged. Board meetings promote her talent from the streets. Profits climbed, ethics paid. Richard mentored youth. Bias blinded me, see clearly. Aisha joined panels. From fired maid to partner. Change possible. Headlines praised. Billionaire's redemption. Personal milestones. Aisha's brother recovered, walking unaided. Thanks to the fund. Richard hugged him. Family now. Wedding bells? Subtle, Richard proposed quietly. Marry me? Build forever. Aisha's eyes are fierce. Equals, always. Ceremony intimate. Harlem church, Emily, flower girl. Vows raw. From hate to heart, you saved us. Aisha, you chose change. We thrive. Years blurred. Foundation global. Clinics worldwide. Scholarships transforming lives. Emily graduated from med school. Like Aisha, saving worlds. Richard retired, handing the reins. Your turn. Aisha led the company. Ethics first. Reflections at the grave. Richard placed flowers. Wife, son, avenged. Legacy lives. Aisha. They'd be proud. Lesson crystallize. Blind pride destroys. Open heart rebuilds. Love conquers bias, class. Unity forges hope. Family not blood. Choice, action. Richard to Emily. Learn it young. She nodded. I did. From you both. Final scene. Picnic in Central Park. Family sprawled, laughter free. Emily. Happy? Richard. Complete. Aisha. Earned. Sunset. Warmth lingering. Testament to redemption's power. Bonds eternal. Lessons etched. Hope's flame undimmed. Richard gazed at the stars later. Worth the fight. Aisha leaned in. Every scar. Emily slept nearby. Dreams peaceful. Foundation reports piled, lives changed. One girl, full ride to Harvard Med. Aisha smiled. Our ripple. Richard. Tsunami now. Community events multiplied. Galas in slums turned hubs. Locals led. Your turn. Richard stepped back. Listen, learn. Bias training company-wide. Stories shared, walls crumbled. I was you, blind. Employees transformed. Emily's first surgery, success. For the lost ones, Aisha mentored. Proud. Richard beamed. Legacy. Challenges came. Appeals from Victor's remnants. Crushed swiftly. No foothold. Media storms. Hypocrite. Richard faced. Was. Changed. Proof in actions. Donations soared. Grandkids arrived. Emily's child. Teach them the truth. Aisha held the baby. Love overall. Richard. Lesson learned. Aging gracefully. Retreats in Harlem home. Roots here. Friends visited. Old neighbors. Changed world. Richard. You changed me. Final breath? Not yet. Vigor from purpose. More to give. Aisha. Together. Emily. Forever. Article penned. Billionaires fall. Rise. Lesson in humanity. Read widely. Bias breaks. Compassion builds. Readers nodded. 50 plus reflecting their own lives. Time for change. Picnic echoed. An annual tradition. Remember the start. Laughter. Tears. From firing to family. Aisha. Miracle. Richard. Choice. Hope's banner flew. Foundation emblem. Unity wins. Lives were touched countless times. One act snowballs. Emily's speech. Dad taught. Admit wrongs. Act big. Applause. Richard teared. Proud. Sunset closed. Silhouettes united. Tomorrow will be brighter. Lesson sealed. Redemption real. Love conquers.